Alrighty, Steve Velocities here again. This is part 2 for my Pallet Ripper tool. So the original concept was a flat bar, and I knew I needed to make these tongs longer, but I decided to go ahead and go with what I knew really was a better design, and that was like the metal ones that are welded. They work pretty good. So what I did, and I'll come up close here, is I went ahead and took 2 pieces of 3/8 inch plywood. I'm sorry, my bad. That's 1/2 inch plywood, and I glued them together with Gorilla Glue, sanded them down, and proceeded to take the same concept using these really strong bars and hardware, and basically just drilled holes and nut and bolted it together. Basically, it's very strong. I've tested it, and so let me go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and go to this concept pallet here. Okay, real quick, I want to show you these are huge pallets. I started to try to do that middle pallet over there that I could get straddle the 2x4s with the last tool, and it absolutely started to break it. So that's the mother of all pallets right there, that and the Chet pallet under it. And I don't know if this thing's up to the task for that. I mean, that's 2x6 material on that middle pallet, and the Chet pallets are really put together good. So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. So anyway, this is the pallet, and typical traditional design. Okay. Might need a little bit more leverage, but the tongues are big enough. Okay. Once again, I think it boils down to technique and where you're positioned at, and how the pallet was built. So that's a big one. Woo-wee, this is a big one over here. This is probably going to rip. Yep. Which I don't care, because that's a big sucker right there. Alright, so I kind of expected that. That's going to be really rough to get up there. So, all in all, A little bit of slippage there, but that's just because of the bolt. But let's see. A little bit of lamination damage there, probably where I hit the 2x4. So I think I'm going to go ahead and continue to use this one. We'll do some refinements on it. Take these and take a Sawzall and take those off. But basic design concept, so far I like it. We'll just see how it does. I'll work on these other pallets. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Steve Velocity is out. Okay, so just a few thoughts that I had on my prototype 2 for the Pallet Ripper. Actually, it's a pretty strong design. One of the things that I noticed after looking over the video yesterday was that the tongues are still only getting about half a bite onto the slats. The tongues are actually straddling the 2x4s really well, and the handle and the reinforced hardware that I have is actually making it very strong. So that my first observation with the tongues still needing to be a little bit longer, so that's going to have to be an improvement. And then the second observation is the metal hardware that I'm using as a fulcrum, as basically leverage, is still not close enough to the initial point of contact with the skid. And I noticed that on a lot of the internet, the YouTube ones and the professional ones that I've seen, people weld together, that the leverage that you get should be closer to when you contact the actual stud or the skid, the 2x4 and the skid. That means it needs to be either A, on the bottom of the handle in some fashion, or B, it needs to be really close to the very bottom on the back side. So those are definitely two improvements right off the bat that I'll make. Maybe a longer handle. That handle's not really that difficult to work with, but maybe longer would give me a little bit more leverage also, so that it's easier to pry down. So those are my initial thoughts. This is what I'm going to work with for now, and prototype 3 should come out with longer tongues, and so with the improvements that I stated basically. So other than that, it looks a lot different than the first prototype, but actually I think it's more of an effective tool because it gets up under that slat better. So thanks for viewing, and once again, you guys, like if you like, comment, subscribe, and above all, have a creative day.